So we're assuming, though, that I mean, if you count that up, do you see 6 wins in those 10 games? What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football, back at it again. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be updated on all things EA College Football and see plenty of college football videos, subscribe to this channel right now. I also do some pro Ed Madden videos as well. Please subscribe, okay? Hit that red subscribe button. It's free to you. All it's going to cost you is just being updated on all things EA College Football. Watch a lot of college football videos, anything related to football. That's what you're here for. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Hit the like button right now too, please. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so the season has started. We are done through week 2 so far. We've got week 0, week 1, and then week 2 are now in the books. So we've been able to see a couple of big-time teams fall. We saw Texas A&M lose to Appalachian State this last weekend. We saw Kentucky go to the Swamp and beat Florida. A couple big-time teams lost there. One of the biggest losses and one of the most confusing ones had to be this last weekend. Notre Dame comes out. Week 1, they play a tough game at Ohio State. Were not successful in that game. Week 2, they host Marshall. So obviously you're going to come out and win, right? Well, this happened. So the end of the game, Marshall Thundering Herd 26, Notre Dame 21. We see 28 points in the fourth quarter combined from both teams. Henry Colombi finished with 145 yards and 1 touchdown. However, Notre Dame's defense gave up 219 and 1 touchdown on the ground on 50 carries. So, I mean, they did a decent, 50 carries is tough to stop anyway. Notre Dame's rushing attack averaged 3.5 yards per carry, which is not that great. And then their passing attack was 220, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, 5.8 yards as an average. So, not a very good day for them. As a matter of fact, Tyler B threw a pick 6 in the fourth quarter. Not a good play there. They ultimately lose to the Thundering Herd. Not a good game. And actually, for Tyler, it was double negative. It was double negative because he is now out for 4 months. Essentially, the season is over. So Notre Dame quarterback Tyler Buchner suffered a high-grade AC joint sprain in his non-throwing shoulder in the loss to Marshall, Irish coach Marcus Freeman told reporters Monday. Buchner, I swear I'll keep on getting this. Tyler B will undergo surgery Tuesday, and Freeman expects the recovery process to take 4 months, which will put the quarterback out for the remainder of the season. We could do all the math and probability, put it somewhere maybe January. So his season is done. Moving forward, Drew Pine will be our starter, and as I said when we addressed the quarterback competition in the fall, I had the utmost confidence in both of those guys being able to lead our offense and lead this football team. In the first 2 games, Buchner was 28 of 50, passing for 278, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Pine played in 4 games during his freshman season in 2020 and 2 games in 2021. Steve Angeli, a true freshman, will take the second team reps. So the Marcus Freeman era is off to a bit of a rough start. Again, you come out, you play Ohio State, you lose at Ohio State. It's like, that's a tough one. Ohio State was a really, really good team. They were potentially 1 win away from probably going to the playoffs, something to that effect. They were a very, very good team. C.J. Stroud, tons of receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigma, Marvin Harrison Jr., they've got stars all over the place. They come out and they just lose that one by 11. That makes sense. Okay, that's an extremely difficult game to go out there and play. And then you play Marshall at home, and you're thinking, all right, time for us to rebound, something like that. And then you go out and do that. So, man, Marcus Freeman, like I said, it's 0-2 is not great. Okay, they still have 10 games left, 6 to get a bowl game. We'll see how it goes. I know that, there's, the news about, the college football playoff basically writing into it that Notre Dame can never get a top 4 ranking or a top 4 seeding. The fact that they just lost their first 2 games. Their head coach is off to a bad start. The fact that Brian Kelly is gone, and I know he had that loss to Florida State that week 1, but I think that he's going to have a much easier time recruiting to LSU. That's just me. That's how I see it. I know they play Mississippi State this coming weekend. They play Mike Leach. So, that's going to be an interesting game to watch. But for Notre Dame, man, they are just, I don't know, man. I think that, like I said before, I said this in a previous review in terms of a preseason situation for Notre Dame. It's hard for Stanford, Notre Dame, Vanderbilt, Rice, Northwestern to all be good at the same time because there's not that many 4.0, 3.9 GPA students out there. When they got Will Fuller, that was shocking because usually they don't have a lot of outside speed. They do have a lot of size. I'm telling you right now, Notre Dame has some size. They're definitely got some NFL offensive linemen, do a great job pumping tight ends out to the NFL, do a great job with that. But Man, we'll see what happens, man. This is a transition, okay? A lot of people didn't gave Brian Kelly crap because they lost the game week 1 to Florida State. But I'm telling you, I think that as much as people don't like him, he's a solid coach. Marcus Freeman, we'll see, man. I know that he's popular with the players, but you got to produce on the field, man, and we got to see how this is looking for them going on through the rest of the season. Now, I do know here that Drew Pine enrolled June 18th of 2020. Okay, he was the number 8 player in Connecticut. He was the number 8 pro prospect in the 247 composite score offered by Alabama, Arizona, Baylor, and Auburn. Ultimately chose Notre Dame. Looks like he's solid, 6 feet, 194. He can probably play a little bit here. Again, pro style quarterback, so we'll see what he does. He is highly rated recruit, so hopefully we can develop him from there. And again, I know that Notre Dame, they've probably got some solid offensive linemen. That's probably the basis of this team, is the fact that they are so good up front so many years in a row. Also, tight end, that Meyer, he is solid on the outside too. Well, on the end, the tight end. But I like that for them. Man, but we'll see. I mean, looking at their schedule, though, it gets a little interesting here. So you look at the remainder of their schedule, and again, this is how it kind of goes here. Now, if you check the FPI, Football Power Index, they're actually favored in a lot of these games. Surprisingly, they're favored against BYU in Las Vegas. Again, neutral site game, that's going to be a big one here. But you look at this here, so they got 10 games left. They're 0-2 right now. So they go, Cal should win that. At North Carolina is not going to be easy. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be an easy game. They got BYU in Las Vegas. Stanford at home, I think they should have handled that. UNLV at home, they should have handled that. At Syracuse, I mean, realistically, they probably should. Home against Clemson, that's going to be, I'll tell you what, that offensive line is going to get stressed because their defense is good, but DJ Uyunglele, or however the hell you pronounce his name, I don't necessarily believe in him as quarterback. That's just me, though. And they have Navy, who just lost to Delaware, so I'm not sure about that. Boston College is 0-2, and USC is an interesting game here. So if you look at that, there's really no margin for error here, because at North Carolina, BYU at home, Clemson at home, and at USC. Those are 4 potential games that they can lose. So we're assuming, though, that I mean, if you count that up, do you see 6 wins in those 10 games? I do see 6 wins, but I see potential for maybe being 5-5, maybe being, what, it was 4-6. Oof, that would be hell to pay if they were 4-8 in their first season after they started the season ranked here. So remember, the Associated Press, the coaches poll, everybody had said Notre Dame. This one makes no sense at all. But for some reason, Marcus Freeman, people like him a lot. They came out here. They were preseason ranked number 5. They are 0-2 now. And again, that includes an away loss to Ohio State. It's a good loss. It's the number 2 team in the country. And then a home loss to Marshall, who was not a ranked team. So, man, I mean, again, the question for today, do you guys think Notre Dame is going to rebound? How do you think they're going to do the rest of the season? Get in the comments right now and let me know. I think it's interesting, man. You know, Notre Dame, like I said, it's Marcus Freeman. He's got his work cut out for him, okay, because he's the new head coach and things are good. And Brian Kelly, some people liked him, some people didn't. But Marcus is going to take over this team. Well, I tell you what, it's an uphill battle right now. Again, this next week, I think they're going to go out there. They're going to win. No offense to Cal, but you guys aren't very good this year. But there's no guarantee behind that. So I don't know, man. But Notre Dame, off to a rough start. Man, if they don't make a bowl game this first year, I think that Scott Frost, and I know my friends over there with West Virginia with Neil Brown, and then Marcus Freeman's only been there for 2 games. It's only 2 games. He has to establish a culture. He has to establish his team. But 0-2 and a loss at home against Marshall is not what you want to do. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am out.